Bro, and I literally had to humble myself because I thought we was mad because we only had $200 to $300 at the end of the month after we done paid everything. Bro, my last video, y'all is dropping screenshots of literal change in y'all bank account. And it's like everybody, not a certain generation, certain age group. It's a whole bunch of folks. No, like dead ass, how are y'all surviving on change? And some of y'all negative. Like what? And I'm not even making this to like be funny. I'm just like so shocked at how bad it is because it's not what I was thinking at all. I'ma stop fucking complaining.
But you do not get to complain about the cost of rent while also refusing to get a roommate. The cost of living crisis has gotten out of control, but I think we forget that living alone is a luxury and
Back when I was 19 years old, 7 years ago, you know what? I lived alone. I had a nice studio and it was $800 a month. Do you know what that studio is going for now? That exact same studio, $1,800. It over doubled in 7 years. That is not okay. Back in 2000s, they made movies where if you had roommates and you were 25, guess what? You were considered a loser. Do you know why? The economy used to be so good, everyone lived alone. Back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, you know what happened? You were gay if you had a roommate. That's literally how good the economy was. The only reason it's a luxury now is literally because, guess what? We aren't taxing the rich anymore. We are giving them the money. We are giving them tax breaks so they don't have to pay. And you know what happens? They raise the prices on everything. They raise the prices. We pay more in taxes, and guess what? Everything costs more, we can't afford to live alone, and then we blame it on a housing crisis. That's only a crisis because guess what? We don't want to fix this.
So when do we stop being broke as fuck? Can anybody answer that? Because it seems like the longer we go, the worse it gets. This isn't even a political thing. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on. It's only been getting worse every year for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 decades. If you look at other nations, it almost seems like as the time goes, their nation gets better, not just with technology, but with society and also their economy. And yet somehow we have cameras that can zoom in on your neighbor doing weird shit in their yard, and our economy still sucks ass. Out here feeling like you spent your life savings gambling when all you did is actually buy groceries. And I know it's the season of them kicking the can down the road like they do, I don't know, every 20 years or so. But for whatever reason, this shit is taking too long. It used to be that you could go to work all day and at least have just the basic shit. You could come home and at least eat a good meal. Now, you work your ass off and actually work overtime and you're still eating ramen noodles. But don't worry, everyone. We're gonna make sure we have plenty of entertainment for you because it's not like you can actually leave your house to go do anything.
Yeah, what's good, YouTube? Basically, like America is so damn expensive, bro. Everybody's struggling. There's so much bad stuff going on in the world. Cost of living going up crazy. Like you can't live nowhere. Like living places, or like, and the people, like younger adults, they don't even get to get the quote unquote first step of adulthood. Because usually adults like move out when they turn 18. Back in the past, I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. But now it's so expensive that either you can't, or it's just like a stupid financial decision to make because it's so expensive. You have like, if you move out, then you'll be living paycheck to paycheck, barely getting around, like barely getting past. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not worth it. It's not a smart decision to make. So then that's why so many people are staying home, and that's why like living alone is such a luxury because it's either you live with your parents, you live alone and struggle, or you live with a roommate, probably still struggle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I have been in a chronic cycle of exhaustion and burnout and fatigue for a couple of years now, but it's gotten unbelievably bad in the past couple months where essentially I struggle to sleep. Like some nights I sleep literally 45 minutes. And then during the day, I feel overwhelmed and stressed and anxious and just really burnt out. And it had me thinking a lot about how so many people in our current society feel really burnt out. And a lot of it is due to money stress and due to this feeling like we have to keep going no matter what because everything around us feels so precarious. And that's something that I very much feel. And that led me to write my newsletter this week, which is very much about our relationship with work and rest and what to make of all of it. And essentially in writing this essay and doing all this research and interviewing authors that have written extensively about burnout, I've really come to realize that a lot of my, like what I thought was like a sleep issue was really a work issue. And it was really centered around my relationship to work and identity and purpose. And our system is really built out to make us feel constantly exhausted, right? And when you are exhausted, you are more likely to make bad financial decisions and pay extra for convenience. And there is very much an entire cottagecore industry, the wellness industry, that is designed to sell you back the solution to rest. And I was really interested in this growing trend of like sleep tourism or, executive function coaching, where people are essentially paying money to achieve something that a good night of sleep would give you for free. And if you're interested in reading this essay about my insomnia, my workaholism, and just the economics of rest and how we treat rest in a capitalist society, you should check out my newsletter. The link is in my bio.
Okay, so I was having a healthy debate with somebody the other day, and I said, people no longer care about their credit score because they don't have money. What you tell me, what am I going to do about a jacked up credit score if I don't have money? Also, do you know why the people who offer credit repair services make so much money? Because they are selling hope. They're selling possibility. And this is not to knock anybody's hustle or put them out of business, but I want to make things very much clear here. They make money because they provide a service, and they do an amazing job. They do an amazing job at getting your credit, doing to your credit whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing to your credit, right? Some of them are skilled at going in, analyzing your credit report, finding out what's on your credit report, having, I think, a trustworthy, transparent conversation with you to find out what belongs on your credit report and what doesn't belong up there. And of course, they take that information and they go in and they dispute it. Almost like your bank account, but they go into your credit report and they find any types of errors that could contribute to you being able to delete something completely off your credit. But here's the issue. What do you do when at least 5 of your collection accounts are genuine debts? People, companies that you've owed. Or what about the active loans that you haven't paid that aren't in collections yet? They are genuine loans that you owe to these companies because your finances are out of whack and they can only hide them, not erase them. And since y'all know I love to talk about apartments, what do you think happens when they go in and delete a pretty little balance that you had with a previous property off of your credit report? Ding, ding, ding. It still shows up on your rental history and you still get denied. So yeah, people are not as concerned about their credit scores anymore because they don't have money to pay off things, to take care of things. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think.
No, because deadass, the way the world is designed, right? You go to work makes you exhausted. You got to drive like 30 minutes home on the freeway, get stuck in traffic. That drains the life out of you. They can search it up like online, how like the commute from your work back home, that drains the life out of you. Like the deadass, it's like proven, right? So they do all that just so you have no time to do anything to actually enjoy yourself, right? You don't have energy to exercise. You don't have energy to like go out, have fun with friends. Yada, yada, yada. You don't have enough money, anything. All stress, right? So then the only way to cope with that, or the way to cope with that that's pushed onto you is like consumerism and little small reliefs that they like, you know what I mean? Like, so you buy these things and they give you like slight release, but then that makes you dependent on spending your money. But then spending your money keeps you in the same position that you are right now. So it keeps you in this constant cycle where you never break out of it and you're never fully fulfilled. So yeah.
When you ask the old generation, they'll tell you stuff like Gen Z is lazy, they don't want to work, they're out of touch, they don't believe in reality, they don't understand how to be realistic. But honestly, what's happening is that Gen Z does not want to work because they have seen that it will not benefit them. They have seen that they're going to get half or even a quarter of the things awarded to them that previous generations got, all doing significantly more work. They are realizing they have to grind 10 times harder than anyone else. So not that they don't want to work, it's just that they know that they're going to work harder to get less. And at that point, why would you do that? The difference is with the previous generations, there was something to strive towards, something to motivate them. But Gen Z really doesn't have anything. The future kind of looks very bleak for them. Like, they're trying to convince Gen Z to work despite the fact that they're not going to be afforded anything for their hard work like previous generations were. No pensions, Social Security might be running out by the time they want to retire. They're not able to buy a home. And they're being given similar salaries to people before, or even something a little higher, but because of the cost of living, it basically takes away all of what they're making. So when you consider they don't get any of the previous rewards that other generations got for working hard, why would they work hard? If you realize the job you're working right now won't afford you any of the simple luxuries that other people have enjoyed, would you want to do it?
Yeah, you know, people call Gen Z lazy and stuff, but the world is so like expensive right now, and just like there's so much bad stuff going on right now, right? So like back in the past, you could work, or like only the father could work, and you could afford the house, like support your family. You can take them on low vacations and stuff like that, and you're like almost basically promised to retire. You know what I mean? But now for Gen Z, for one, with college, job market is very bad right now. It's hard to find jobs. You know what I'm saying? So that's already not much stability. So you're not even like, so the promise of like, so the guarantee that college used to provide isn't even as prevalent anymore. And even if you do get a job, is your job enough to cover all your necessities plus pay off your debt? You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people are struggling, you know what I mean? Because I mean, college is a privileged thing to go to, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people go to college, as even though around me everyone's going to college, you know what I'm saying? But it's it's something privileged, you know what I'm saying? We're lucky to have that opportunity. But a lot of people don't. And those people are struggling too. And a lot of people are living like paycheck to paycheck. But it's like every month things get more expensive, you know what I mean? So it keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, and their wages aren't climbing with that. So now they have no like it's gone to the point where they have no vision of the end. You know what I mean? Like they think it's gonna keep getting worse. Like back in the past, you go work and work and work. Maybe I hate my job, but like I know eventually I'm gonna have this much money saved. I'm gonna buy this house. I'm gonna buy this car. I'm gonna retire. But now, like people struggling now, they have no hope for the future, or like a lot of them have no hope. You know what I mean? They can't even imagine it getting better because of how bad it is right now. Like because it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's like, why would I ever imagine it getting better? You know what I mean? Like, what could change to make it better? Because there needs to be a drastic change for stuff to get better, and I just don't see that happening, to be honest. But that's my opinion on it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys all have a great day. Peace out.